Hi, this is Tony and Lati Casa Esmeralda, and today I am vlogging my garden, my growing, and I haven't made a video in a few days, so I thought I'd make a video. I was expecting guests and they haven't arrived, sent them a message. So if you're watching this when I post it, I'm right up here, okay? I've had guests, like there's the fact that the Pastiche Festival is on, and it's just been busy. Yeah. People sleeping in hammocks, people sleeping out here in nature. So if you want to come here, fine. You can find me on Airbnb, booking.com, Casa Esmeralda. Hansy didn't like Rudy very much, so you know, Rudy decided one day to do suicide and sit on the chicken eggs, and then the hens didn't like that either, and they wanted to lay because they all lay in one nest, and so they ended up killing Hansy. The fight was about 5 minutes. I wasn't able to save him or anything like that, but yeah, they ended up killing Rudy. So Hansy is here now, and he's with all his girls, all his hens, and he's having a nice time, and I'll show you the chicks too. We'll get to that. There's a lot of new stuff growing, and I'm really stoked about this cucumber melon is really growing, but now it has rained the last few days. We've had rain, and you can see that the ants are coming on it, so I gotta get the sprinkler going on this and drown some ants, get the chickens in here, and hopefully I can save my cucumber melons from being eaten from ants, because in the South Italy Adriatic here, the ants are like in the thousands. I've seen ant piles 2 feet high here. It's pretty incredible. So anyways, let's go up here. This is the natural garden. Some really stoked stuff. So this is growing. You got there's 2 different types of pumpkin growing here. So this is the pumpkin, and this is about 5 days of growing. This is going to grow into something like this, about 2-3 meters, maybe 4 meters long, if I put organic fertilizer on it, which I have been doing here. This is about 5 days. And then this guy is kind of, this one over here, there's another pumpkin right there, right here, and he's really growing. I do have some weeds coming in for some reason or another, I don't know, but it's not as much weeds as you would get if you had a farm tractor or a tiller, or like a rototiller or some type of machine. So my weeding is really saves me a lot of time by just planting in nature in itself, using all the materials of nature, using hay, using wood chips, all that. You can all see that in my videos and explaining how I plant. Here's another pumpkin. So right there, and there's another one there, and then we got some back there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And there was 12 seeds in the package, and then there was also some butternut squash, which I did back there, and the butternut squash is coming too. And I did throw some chard in there to get some foliage going, some greens and stuff like that, because these plants, they will grow to a higher level, and if I get some chard or something smaller in here, the ants will kind of maybe nibble on the salad greens, the chard and that first, I'm hoping, and then they will go to eating the pumpkins. So here's another one came up. I have not watered yet today. I'm kind of reluctant to water. I'm just kind of seeing right now what's happening, how this is going to roll out, because it has really, we've had not last night but the night before, it rained continuously from 8 o'clock all the way to 1:30 in the morning, which is like a winter rain here, and that was just incredible. So I know the ground is really wet, and I'm just wondering if these plants, if they want the water or not. And I'm gonna see at midday, and maybe at midday I just give them like a 1 or 2 minute, just like a 1 or 2 minute soaker, a little bit, just to help the leaves a little bit get through the day, because it is warm out right now. The temperature is going up to 30 degrees Celsius. It will go up to 30 plus degrees because there are no puffy clouds in the sky. There is no wind. So this storm system, whatever it was, and it's been raining sort of worldwide in all these places. So, and there's more of these melon cucumbers coming along too. They're all in here. See, there's another one. There's like 10 of them. I've eaten like 3 of them, so it did fruit me. There's one in there, there's one there, and up there. So it did fruit me like about 12 large melon cucumbers, and they take me about 3 days to eat. So that's over 1 month of food of cucumbers, and they last a lot longer too than the regular cucumbers, than the Baratieri or like the Caracello, which I was like planting. So it's been all good, and this is only 3 seeds here. As I said, you can watch the videos before. And then I had some extra tomato seeds. The electric fence is off, so I'm not gonna go kill myself here, but I gotta be really careful here. I'm just gonna kind of fish my way over here. And I got wild Chile and Gili natural tomatoes, like in the 100 here. There must be like over 5 kilos of tomatoes growing here, of wild natural tomatoes, just using nature to the plant. So I forgot about this. I had tomato seeds and I just threw them down here, and they planted and grew themselves over the summertime. So, and these are absolutely delicious. I think some people are here. No, it's just my neighbor. Here they celebrate all the Catholic holidays. It's called Ferragosto, the Ascension of Holy Mary. So I guess they come here to party. He's not here very much anymore. And then this guy, which is the Zucca Lungo, which I've been talking about for a month and a half actually, which I'm really stoked about. As you can see here, he's right here, and he will grow to like 1 meter long. So he will kind of thin out. This is a lot of food, right? So I might do some canning. I will have to figure out when I harvest it. This is only at the halfway point. This will grow for up to 3 weeks, and it will grow to like, yes, 1 meter long. And I've seen the long skinny ones. The zucchini is still trying to fruit I have not had a really good zucchini this year. I've had a few small ones, but I have not had a long zucchini. And it's just that you need to plant zucchini directly in the ground. And that's the most productive way. And possibly if you need a rototiller like my neighbor, he has like the best zucchini in the world. And I just did a little archway up here. And then I'm kind of training this one to go here, so the dogs are barking at the neighbor, but just ignore that. So I'm stoked about the tomatoes and the Zucca Lungo. The figs are really growing. We'll get to that in a sec. And this guy here is still trying to fruit and grow me where I had the watermelon in. And the chickens have been working away here, scratching this ground, putting the chicken mess, and I've been filling the bin up. And I'm still expecting, I did get the barbabietola, which is the big bulb white radish, which I really like in the dead winter. You know, you're just like sitting around the fire and looking for something to do or snack on or eat with a little bit of salt, garlic, and olive oil, like a light snack. And that's something good, and I think I'll try planting here, but I'm really stoked to just planting in nature, because the planting in nature down there is basically nothing, right? I really don't do anything to that except for water. But as I said, like I started on the pumpkin hermitage, and there's two different types of pumpkin and the squash. I did give that organic fertilizers a boost, because I was kind of stoked to get it going. It wasn't going, so, and now it's really going. There's one lagging, so I'm just kind of seeing it. I'm waiting for the midday heat, and maybe I'm just gonna give everything here a little soaker. Everything's just kind of drying out. It's very humid right now, and it's gonna get more humid. I'm really starting to sweat. And then I'm waiting on this guy here, which has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and the rain, and these are also more tomatoes, or pomodori as we say here. And then this guy is really taken off, and I'm still waiting for it to fruit or to show me something what it is. I just kind of plant things because things. And then also more squash has really taken off and is growing outside of the greenhouse. And then I kind of train it to grow the 5 meters of the greenhouse. So I'm going to have like a big squash roof growing in 2-3 weeks time. All this is going to be like squash, and I'm hoping that it will fruit me something. And this is only out of 2 large vases. And the same on this side. That guy is now 2.5, almost 3 weeks. And he's growing up out of the greenhouse, as you can see here. So here's the one that's growing up and out of the greenhouse. This is like over a month now. I guess like a month and a week already, right? And these were just little ones like these high. They started out. And then the other one is there, and he's growing up out of the roof. And I got all my herbs, my aloe vera here. I cut my finger very bad. Very, very bad. So that's another thing that's kind of sidelined me from doing any real heavy work, but I didn't need the hospital. It was pretty bad, but I survived. And then the squash, which I planted, was like a week and a half ago. The same thing as the pumpkin down there. All of a sudden it just started, so only like one came up, and I planted another package of pumpkin and squash in here for dead winter, which I want to start sprouting. And then I wanted to figure out exactly what I'm going to do with the sprouts, but it would be nice that I can grow some food in here for dead winter. And then these Roma tomatoes, I've been making pastas and Roma and potatoes, and I've been making Roma pizzas, as you can see from my videos. So that it's really paid off, but it has not given me a very high yield of Romas as I had expected compared to the natural growing. I guess they just like to be left alone. It's been very hot in here. I've had like one or two kind of get like really squishy because of the heat. and then I just harvest them, and I've eaten just some raw out of here. And then there's all this, the celery, the chives, or the schnittlauch, and then the Austrian mountain cabbage. There's more tomatoes. And then what I'm really stoked about is these little sprouts here. Those are the bananas. And I'm gonna have bananas, yay! So, but I'm not out of this yet, you know, because these bananas, so there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like that 1, 2, and then there's one here. And I actually remember as before, as I planted at least 4 or 5 seeds, and that was the thing, is that in 2 months time, because this is a tree, you'll only get like 1 finger high of a plant. So you're gonna have to wait, and then after a half a year, like after a half a year, you're gonna have something that's at least a meter high, and it possibly will give you some fruit. And I don't know what this is here, maybe some last seed from last year. And then there's 1, and then there's 2 there, and then the fennel seed is ready to be harvested, which I'm really cool about. And then just gonna replant fennel back in here for the winter time. And I've been eating fennel soup all winter long, fennel and pasta, fennel and potatoes, making like soup foods or soupy foods, soupy meal foods all winter long with fennel. So it's a really cool thing to have. And then the peppers, I'm really stoked about this because I absolutely am a real big hot pepper fan. I like eating hot peppers any type of way that is possible. There are like so many, 25, I think there's like 25 different varieties of how to can and how to cook and how to eat hot peppers, or do hot pepper challenges. And I have some more of the other ones in here, the jalapenos. So, and there's some more in here. And then these ones, like the smaller ones, these are really, really hot. And like 1 pepper will send you smoking and sweating for at least a good half hour. So, and they're all back in here. So I got all peppers going. And this is really nice in soups and salads in the winter time. It's got the capsaicin, good for your immune system, everything. So, whoo, am I sweating now? Yeah, it's getting hotter. That's what I was waiting for. It's waiting for the heat, and then if they still stay green and they're not dry, like down there in the cucumbers, it's gonna need just a little spray. And then the olives are coming along, but the only thing is you don't want water in your oil. So right now I'm kind of at a 50% chance of having a good olive oil this year compared to last year, and I won't have as many olives, and the olives are getting very fat, and there's actually a lot of water in these ones, because when you're looking at them, and it's best actually that these olives, they dry out and you just press the oil out of them. So if there's less water in them, then it's all good. And then this one here, I have the Adriatic variety of figs, and this is now the second growth. So this tree will give me 3 growths of figs a year, and it's on its second run. And these are the green ones, which I've been eating. Kind of like last night I came out here, it was dark out, had a midnight snack. I just have big fruit cravings, so it's hard for me to go travel somewhere because I get huge fruit cravings all the time, and I can't have access to nutrient rich foods when I go traveling. So as I did last year for 1 month, it was, you know, you get like these big, because I have access to all this fresh fruit all the time, which is really nice. I was eating down here today, so I'm kind of looking for a fig to eat, but most of them have been eaten already. And this guy is really growing. I mean, Some of the spread on the leaves, they've grown like about 2 meters in 2 years, so about 1 meter a year each branch. And I have to see then next year in the springtime maybe to cut a little bit back, and because this tree will just grow with basically with no water at all. So it's natural growing, and I know something under the ground here is very good. And the dogs and the chickens like coming down here too, and there's lots of figs falling on the ground, so the dogs are eating the figs. See, the olives are all coming along nice here. And I got more olives. So they're showing signs of being high in water. And I'm wondering if Lottie's okay. Sort of the dogs are okay. Giuseppe's okay, right? You're doing okay, right? Say hi, Giuseppe. Giuseppe's kind of shy, but he's the real male boss around here, and he's training Bruno. And there's Lottie. So the dogs have been all well lately. Nobody's been sick in the last few weeks. Bruno's been really enjoying the figs and kind of following me around. The oranges, I haven't seen any oranges. I've seen one orange. I have seen one orange, but gotta put some more organic fertilizer down on that, and maybe I'll have some more oranges up here. My first year I had a lot of oranges. So, oh, and then the back garden here, which is kind of doing my water connections. My carrots haven't been very good to me, but I know that they're gonna come next year, because last year I watered carrots in the greenhouse all winter long, and then in springtime I had over 100 carrots come up. And then this is I ate lots of watermelon, and the watermelon, it from the seeds, and it just recomposted itself. So I'm still in the race to get watermelon in September, but I think with this too much rain, and yesterday, like last night, was kind of chilly, I don't think I'm gonna get watermelon, but it's all good because this is rejuvenating the ground and the soil to replant. And the same thing here, I got more watermelon mounds coming and growing. Maybe I got some more foliage, some more vegetable, and that's all good because this will all sort of die off, and then you can, when it dies off, then you can replant. It's all the cycle of nature. And then finally here I got some squash or some zucchinis that are coming along actually very good. And the last one down there I planted too many close together, and so these ones, there's only about 6 of them in here, and it seems like it's really doing a lot better. It has more space, it's really blooming like a flower, so it's really giving me back a lot more. But I'm just concerned now with all this rain and the heat, for a week's time I'm gonna have ants, and I'm not going to be very excited about having the ants actually eat up all the zucchini, because they will squash and zucchini leaves, like these big leaves, they will just totally chow down on all of them, like in the thousands, and the ants will start growing. And then there's some Italian mushrooms growing in here, right there, down there. I have to check and see, because I'm interested if those are edible or not. So, and then the cabbage back here has been kind of sort of coming along. There's been some cabbage, there's some more Italian mushrooms going in here, and then there's some more watermelon mounds. So the cabbage will take about 6 months actually to grow, just like in the greenhouse. I wanted, because I was looking, I wanted to grow cabbage and fennel outside for the winter time, because it's actually more productive here to grow cabbage and fennel outside, and you will get a bigger vegetable if you're able to grow it outside. But the only problem is those things you need to plant here in the ground. So, but this is all good. This is all restabilization, and when this all composts and everything like that, it will give me a good planting area. And then the bees in the back there, in the greenhouse, the rain killed off a lot of the bees, but there are still a few there. And I actually opened up the hive a few days ago in the morning, and I took a look, and the queen, she was in there, but she's not being too productive in the flow hive. I found that they like the traditional Langstroth hives here better than they try like these new flow hives, and they sort of get confused a little bit more with this flow hive. As I had last year, I had like 1,000 bees, and it just got too hot and they all flew away. And the same thing is happening here, is that they're not really, the hive is not really growing at all, like even after 3 weeks and having like all this food and flowers and all the olives and everything around. So they're kind of, the hive is actually getting smaller, and I think it's just they're just too comfortable in that hive for them to grow. So stoked about this. Got more pomodori growing here, so the food continues as long as I got some cucumbers and tomatoes and a little bit of squash or zucchini growing, then I can live off the land for a bit. So thank you very much. And then the chicks, which are coming along good, and the chicks are in the root cellar or temporary brooder house, because in 8 weeks time, in 2 months time, they're all gonna be growing and getting out of here and going into possibly a new chicken coop when my finger gets better, because I can't work like this right now. But they're getting big, so we're like at over 3 weeks. On Friday will be 1 month, and anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks time, we're gonna be growing here, and I'm gonna have more eggs. Now I'm gonna have maybe some chickens to eat and things like that, or maybe sell some chickens, and I will definitely be selling eggs. So then I will have about 26 hens, and I will be able to sell about 2 dozen, anywhere from up to 2 dozen eggs a day. So I don't think I'm gonna do another chicken run because of the weather. I will just have too many chicks die. I would need a really proper brooder house. This is only a temporary brooder house. So okay. So this is Tony Alati, Casa Esmeralda. Thank you for those who have liked and subscribed to my videos. If you want to come and stay here, as I said before, that's always a possibility. Thank you for watching. It's Tony Alati, Casa Esmeralda. Please send me your comments. Please send me questions. I'd love to hear from you. Take care and bye for now.